All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Victor Espinoza, who has won his third Kentucky Derby. As I mentioned earlier, he is the seventh jockey to win 3 Kentucky Derbies. He is the 6th to win back-to-back Kentucky Derbies. Lead spot in the record books. And next to Mr. Espinoza, Mr. Zayat, who wins his first Kentucky Derby after some close calls.
No more seconds.
And next to Mr. Zayat is son Justin, and we're going to let him watch. What were you thinking here, guys, while we're here? The home stretch.
To be honest with you, I was actually looking at my wife and at the same time looking at this particular picture, and Pharaoh is a freak of nature. And for the first time, I'm seeing him right now working hard. And I knew that if he had the lead, nobody will catch him. He has such a brilliant speed, and I start getting really, really nervous. And my wife started crying, and like literally in seconds, that emotion went from somebody who's crying out of fear that they're gonna take it again from us, to actually you've done it, and like tear of joy. So it was like a euphoria of emotions. It was just, I still cannot believe it. I don't even know finish second or third. I was like so tunnel finish. I'm asking who got second, who got third. So that's my feelings.
Justin, you were close by. You can confirm that story.
I can confirm that story. I was so emotional. After the race, I actually started throwing up because I was full of emotions. I didn't know what was going through. This is a dream right now, and I just want to be woken up.
I really got very nervous because my wife is like really crying like it really happened. Yeah. And then I look at my son, and his girlfriend is holding him, and he's like throwing up. I mean, that's not us. This was like crazy.
Another magic moment in Kentucky Derby history, ladies and gentlemen. Victor, let's go to you. You were in the driver's seat, and you had an outside post that talked to Bob Baffert the other night after the draw. He said, I just soon had 20. He believes that this horse was going to run a big brown type race. Was the plan just to kind of sit out there and it's like you were riding the best horse and then go from there?
Yeah, I talked to him. Well, yesterday he texted me. He's like, you know what? Just send it. I don't care. Just go to the front. I said, okay, Bob. That's a good idea. And then this morning, and then today in the paddock, he's like, I don't know. You know what? Just do whatever you want. No, it's like whatever happens, it will happen. It's like, no, I think we need to win right now. He was like, all right, and it worked out well. I think the 18 hole, it was just a perfect. I feel like I was a lucky number in there, the 18, and just got it done. American Pharaoh, he's just an awesome horse, and Baffert, he's just an amazing trainer. I can say that because I win 2 Kentucky Derbies for you. Right. That's right. But it was just an awesome to win the Kentucky Derby again for this guy. Who thought there, over a decade, I just, win again. It never gets old.
Bob, you're now the 3rd trainer to have 4 Kentucky Derby victories. You're tied with your friend Wayne Lucas and a gentleman named Derby Dick Thompson, who won 4 back in the early part of the 1900s, and of course Ben Jones is one ahead of you at this time. And your thoughts on this horse? You've had supreme confidence in him, and today he wins your 4th Derby.
Well, I mean, it's a quite a, those names are, legends, and to be in this position, I never think about stuff like that. I know Victor and I, we have a lot of history going back, and he won that Derby, and to win this Derby, this is for the Zayats, who have suffered so much running these seconds since Bodemeister and Pioneer the Now, and so we know what it is to just get completely punched right in the face. And so and today, for some reason, and I could tell all week long that somebody asked me, how's the media? I says, you know what, I really feel a lot of positive energy because of this horse, because I know a lot of people are hoping, they put their hat on something big like this, a horse like what he's done. There's a certain aura about him, and he's caught everybody's attention. I had people that weren't going to come to the Derby. They wanted to come to watch him run, and I think that, what we saw today, that even Dortmund, he ran a really game race, and it could have gone either way. And to 3/8 pole, I was getting a little bit like maybe, he's struggling a little bit. He's never been in that position before. And like last night I told him to put on my lead in the paddock. I said, you know what, Victor? I don't know the way my day's going. You know what? You just ride the horse. You're one of the best riders in the country, and you know your horse better than I do. But I know if he breaks well, if he fires, you're going to win. If he doesn't fire, you're not going to win it. So turning for home, he was having to get after him a little bit, but he's still a lightly raced horse, and so he's figuring it out in a big way. But in Firing Line, we know he's a good horse, and the California horses running 1, 2, 3 is pretty impressive.
If there were any questions from the media going into, or from anyone going into this Derby, is what would happen if he had to respond to a fight. And today he got one from Firing Line. Well,
we knew he was going to have to, coming up here, he got a little keyed up. All the walk, the people got him really stirred up. And he got a little hot. I was a little had some anxious moment in the paddock, but he got in there. He was starting to get pretty hot. He drug the groom and all the way up there. I mean, he was really. I didn't like what I saw, and so we finally got him in there. We got him wet down. He shut it down, and after that, he was really he cooled off. But I had some anxious moment when he was coming up there. Everybody was walking and screaming. He doesn't really like too much of that, but I was just hoping when he turned for home, I was like, just one of you get there, please. And it was like, just get there. Dortmund, he was in the great. I just love what I saw because I saw Martin was in a nice cruising speed. You've got Gary Stevens on that horse, Firing Line, who's a good horse, and Gary's a good. Has a great sense of pace and he was on the outside of him. We were just out of harm's way. It was our Derby to lose after the first turn, and so I ran this race through my mind, and we figured Firing Line was going to be right there on the engine with us. And like I said, I'm just glad that this horse, and all week long, this super horse, what are we going to see? And I read that, and I really don't like that. It's like, now you can say all you want about it. We got the Derby, we got the most important one out of the way, and so I'm just feel so grateful that the Zayat family, Ahmed and Justin, trusted me with this horse. And like I said, a lot of you want to know what happened to the tail, and I think he was in a pasture one day, and there was a mountain lion chasing him, and that's like the closest he could get to him. He took a bite out, but old Bobtail, as we call him, he just what a horse, and I'm just proud of Dortmund. He ran a very game race, and we're here, and we could have been stuck in traffic. So that's the difference between winning the Derby.
Before I open up for the press, one question for you, Bob. It's you won 3 Derbies very quickly when you came on the scene, and then it's been a few years since 2002 now. You've been through a lot. You had
reminded of that.
And you've got the win now, so we don't have
and,
that.
I don't know if I can go another 12 years like this. This is pretty. It was really, for some reason though, the pressure. I just felt a lot of, it was a good pressure, but there was a lot of. I know I had the horses to do it with, and so. So when and everybody that you see, oh, Bob, you can't lose. I hate that, So I don't want to hear this, but I'm just really superstitious about that. And I got to think about black cats. And the other day when I got beaten the Triple Crown, real quiet, a black cat jumped in front of me. And point given, going to the track that morning, a black cat jumped in front of us. And the other day when I picked up Bodie, what happened, Bodie? A black cat jumped in front. I stopped the car so fast. I said, "What's wrong, Daddy? There's a black cat." He just ran across the street. So I hung a U-turn. There's traffic coming. I'm not going to continue on. I stopped. So I explained to Bodie about the black cat. So then on the Dortmund, he had worked well. I was on the plane, and Saturday he was in the afternoon. It started raining. In Dortmund, I get a call from the barn. They was a little uncomfortable, like when it rained, he maybe didn't drink enough water, and he was getting a little colicky. And it was like, I told Jill about it, and right away I heard Bodie in the back, that black cat strikes again, So, but he came out of it. It was light, and so, but he got here. He's been perfect since. But just little things like that. I was on pins and needles all week long. And my, Bodie's, he feels it. My wife, Jill, who's just like, I mean, she keeps me together. I mean, every time I start, she just says, knock it off. Come on. Just get a hold of yourself, because it's nerve-wracking. It's a nerve-wracking business, what we have to go through. And so that's why Kaleem Shaw, I told him, that's why your father didn't want you to be a horse trainer, because he knows he's been through it. And so it's one of those things where it's just, I'm just so grateful that this guy, he got him there, and the Zayats are there, and it's just unbelievable feeling,
Okay, before we take questions, Justin's got something he needs to
I
say.
want to also thank Martin Garcia, who prepared this horse, all his works leading up to the race. Victor did an excellent job of riding him, but Martin and George, who worked him coming into the race, they really got the horse there, so we're proud of them, part of our team as well.
All right, guys, go open up for questions. Pat 40 first. We got microphones. Remember, we're up on satellite, so if you could be patient till we get the mic to you. Pat, you first.
Victor, if you could just go through the ride, especially maybe just the last maybe 3/8, 5/8. It looked like you rode him pretty hard to get him where you wanted him.
I was just with his motion, I was just I started riding just a little bit, and with the other horse he was kind of tough, man. I tell you. But I know I got him. I turned him for home. I know I just got it. Just a matter of time. I can just nominate him, and I kind of rode it a little bit harder in the last 8 to the mount, and the last 16 I kind of know I got it done. But it's all about confidence. I went to this race with so much confidence with American Pharaoh, the way he was running, the way he was winning, and especially for Baffert, the way he trained his horses, ready to go. So it gave me a little bit more push to be a little bit more confidence to when he goes to these races, and especially in the Kentucky Derby.
Next.
This is for any of you guys. Usually don't get to enjoy the Derby a long time until everyone like us start asking about the next one. What can we expect to see from Pharaoh in Baltimore?
Well, if all goes well, I don't see any reason not to go. So we're, looking forward to it. The next one is, I call it the fun one. You're coming off of a Derby high, going in there to Baltimore, and the Preakness is one of my favorite races, and we're just going to enjoy it. We have 2 weeks to really watch the replay about 1,000 times, enjoy it, and so I'm sure it's going to be tough. There'll be some good horses in there, and but I just love what I saw today from both of my boys, and I'm looking forward to the next race.
Lenny.
We can hear you, Lenny.
What gave me a lot of confidence is that particular horse. American Pharaoh is very different from all the horses I had. Day one, we felt that he had brilliance to him. His demeanor, his aura, his conformation, the way he moved. And of course, that you see that in the farm. But once he got to Bob, I never, through all my years, I've known Bob since 2007. And Bob have been very straightforward, direct with me, know how we work as a team together. So we have a very open communication. And I've never seen Bob in the past hype a horse for me. And day one, somehow this horse talked to Bob. And Bob told me, oh my God, this is something we're gonna have a lot of fun with this horse. He believed dearly in him. Then we all know we had a setback, But honestly, from my experience with any other horses, what made a lot of trainers can train a good horse, but I've also learned that it takes a special trainer to keep a good horse and not get the way of him. Bob have an unbelievable canning brilliancy of being in tune with his horses, and that is something I've never seen from a lot of other unbelievable trainers in America. So when we were all in cloud nine, seeing him training for the Breeders' Cup, we felt that he was going in as the best trained possible horse, and everybody was seeing him in the morning. But when the time for tough decision came, Bob took care of that horse and nursed him to bring him out of an injury that was not an easy injury, and come from that, and to come and take him through a training regimen that we had to make the Derby. So we don't kind of pick the races. We have to follow a schedule in order to get to the point system. But to be able to do that and knowing what you have in your barn and not overdoing it at the balancing act, in my opinion, took brilliancy. So to answer the question in a very long way, I've always felt that if this horse remains sound, he would win the Derby. And I've never felt this way. All this week, I was very calm, enjoying it, relaxed. Unlike me, all this day in the morning, I felt incredible. And my wife told me, you're unusually relaxed. I'm kind of a hyper guy. So she told me, how are you like that
he's not
relaxed?
hyper.
I said, the horse is giving me that confidence. And Bob had that confidence all week. He trained on this track. He breezed on it. He was doing everything right. So now comparing him to all the other, I came with good horses, but I felt today I came with a star. But I was very cautious of saying that because I wanted the horse to make the talking. It's not about what we feel, it's about the horse.
Who's next? Oh, wait.
Hey, Bob, how tough has it been being you with both Ali and Foreman in your barn this week?
Well, I mean, it's been, we've had a really good week with them. Everything went really smooth. Usually during the week I've come here, there's always something that will come up. They get a skin rash, but it's just been so smooth all the way. This morning they were fired up, a little bit maybe too fired up. They were a little bit coming over here. They were a little bit, I might have had them a little bit too fresh today. And so, but I wanted to make sure that when that gate came open, I wanted him to just get it on and get with the program. So I might have just a tad fresh, but he, when you're working with horses of this caliber, you just got to there's a fine line there. You don't, just try not to do too much. And so after he worked he worked a tad fast the other day, but he did it easily. But I just backed off him that week, and we didn't do a lot with him because of the work. But now coming into the Preakness, he doesn't need much anymore. So they're fit horses. My horses are very fit. So a race like this doesn't knock them back at all because they're used to it.
Toward the back here. Hang on.
At 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello.
Senior or junior? Almost never referred to as.
Obviously a big win for Pioneer of the Nile as a sire. Can you talk about just kind of getting that retribution, what the stallion has meant for you and what this means for your breeding program as a whole?
I never really promote particular, but Pioneer of the Nile is a hell of a stallion. This is his first crop. What is absolutely pleasing is that, like you said, he's a homebred, but Pioneer of the Nile himself was a homebred of mine, and how spoiled and lucky you can get. We talk about running seconds, but here is the first horse I've ever bred that became a Grade 1 winner, the first horse we ever bred. So in this particular sire have been very kind to us. Now, it doesn't get any better when also his American Pharaoh's dam is also named after my little daughter, Princess Emma. So it's Zayat blood from A to Z, and this makes it very pleasing.
Okay, right over here in the middle.
Okay. Victor, this is a question for you. You've been on this horse most of his starts. As you've ridden this horse, what did you learn about him with every race leading up to this moment?
I learned a lot from him. Every race, he pretty much different. But the most important thing for me that I learned about him, that he was special. That I know that I come here with a special horse to win the Kentucky Derby. And I'm just telling you, last year when I was after the Derby, I was talking to Bob, and Bob, he's like, "Congrats, Victor, you rode awesome." And I was like, "Okay." And Baffert, he told me, he's like, "You and I next year." What was the odds? Huh? We just joke around. And there he goes. We're here. But anyways, in the paddock, I told this guy, he's like, just enjoy the show.
That's exactly what he told me. Actually, I want to comment on Victor, I would say maturing as a jock. We had things work in a funny way. Our first jock that we had in this business was Victor Espinoza. He actually won our first grade 1 on a horse called Point Ashley, named after my daughter Ashley. We've been only in the business like 6 months, and he gave us so much thrill in that summer in Del Mar. So our relationship have evolved, but I have seen the maturity and how Victor have become even a better rider over the years. The classic example of what he have actually done in the Arkansas Derby. Victor tested our colt and took the moment to see if he can rate. And believe me, that was not the plan. We left it in his hand, but he rode with such confidence, such brilliance, that we are very, very grateful that we have him being the pilot in American Pharaoh.
And also one thing, before in the paddock, your wife told me, it's like, if you win, I'll cook for you. So you owe me a dinner, huh? Yeah, she act like she doesn't listen to me. She doesn't know, huh?
She told us that.
Yeah, you told me that. You owe me a dinner.
Kosher dinner.
A home-cooked dinner. That's it.
Kosher tacos.
I hope you know how to make Mexican food.
Ron Flatter down in front here.
Race like the Arkansas Derby, where he showed he could rate and prove it beyond just you guys knowing that it could happen.
Very important. For me, I thought the last few times that I rode him, he was always wire to wire, and I think it was so hard for me that just one race I would like to just follow somebody, because I know I was already thinking about the Kentucky Derby, and if I'm gonna be in the lead, they're gonna go after me. So it's like I always think I wish hopefully he can, run, just track somebody, and Arkansas, is set up perfect for me, and that was my chance. That was it. The other one, he went pretty fast in front, and I was outside, and I'd be able to just take my chances. I know probably Bob, he was probably angry with me, but I take a shot and it worked out, and it worked out perfect for this race today, the Kentucky Derby.
Bob, you want to talk about that? And what? Robert, he's watching the stretch here.
I'm watching his horse almost go over the rail here. He won, but he was hitting the rail there. Okay, I'm back in. All right. What do you need to know?
Just what Victor was talking about, and the
even
plan for Arkansas.
I'm watching. I'm trying to take notes for the next race here. I'm watching the. But what were you talking about?
About the Arkansas Derby.
Oh, the Arkansas. Oh, believe me, the Arkansas Derby. So
put him behind horses.
When he shut him down the backside, I'm watching there on my grade 1 couch with Jill, and we're like, all of a sudden he's just completely galloping. I thought, and Jill right away, oh, what's happening? What's he doing? He's not running. No, I think he's either got him shut down, or he's not going to fire today. I don't know what it's going to be for a little instant, and all of a sudden when he just grabbed him and picked him up again, at the 3/8 pole. Then he started moving again, and then when he turned for home, I was like everybody else watching that. We were like, wow, you know, what a horse. But he's wowed us from day one, and he's just a horse that I remember when he won the Del Mar Futurity. I threw him in there at the last minute, and I put Victor on him. I thought, you know, he's a little bit of a head case. You got along with the War Emblem, you know, maybe you'll get along with this guy. And so, and after he won it, I remember I saw Victor a couple of days later, and I said, you know, Victor, you and I, we've won this Del Mar Futurity. I've won it like 10, 12 times. And he rode probably half of them. And I said, I don't think I ever won this race with a horse like this. He says, no, he's not. He's different, you know. So he's always shown he's different. And today we saw it. What, you know, what he's been through, what he's accomplished, 2 outs, shipping. Shipping is difficult on horses. You can't do it with normal. And for him to ship, it's hard on him. It's hard on their system. And he still looks really healthy. And so it's a dream horse to train. I was hoping, you know, I knew my horses would run well, but until that gate comes open, you never know. And so, but I was feeling the pressure. But once we got him out there, and I heard My Kentucky Home, I knew we're just almost there. And I was like, I told him in the paddock, I was like, Pacquiao and Mayweather, I know what they're going through right now. They want to get it on. Except they're going to get a big fat check no matter if they get knocked out or whatever. And I'm going to get a big fat donut, you know. So so I was just really relieved, and I'm just, like I said, I'm happy for my family, for everybody, and the fans, and all you, the media that were so kind to me this week. It was just positive, and it's so great for a horse race. And I think we had a really, really good week. It was a positive day. We saw some great races. The Oaks was great to watch. The people coming in here, this place was packed. There was a buzz. It was just everything went well, you know. And unfortunately, there's other Derby trainers that are stuck in traffic right now. I know that feeling. I've been there, and so, but I just appreciate every moment of this.
I don't know that all of you have heard this, but it was a record crowd for the Derby today, 170,513. So first ever
Wow.
over that number. So
Make me a
Is it
little
a
bit
big
nervous
spotlight?
before the race.
I think Pharaoh was about 20,000 of those people. I'm telling you what.
Got another question. Hang on, just before we forget, I want to ask about tomorrow morning, and when might be a good time for the media to come visit.
Well, we
you in the
booked a
morning.
flight. What time do we leave, Joe? What time do we leave tomorrow? I told him to book. Yeah, I told him don't book it too early, just in case. You know, I want to be able to do the. I'll be in the barn in the morning. I'll probably just sleep in my car at the barn. You know. So, but Bodie, he wanted to know where we're going to go celebrate tonight.
I'm with you, buddy.
He wants to go to Jeff Ruby's. He loves Jeff Ruby's. But it's just been a fun week, and last night we were eating. I got sick a couple of days ago, so I'm feeling better now. But it was just the stress. You know, I was just like, I was a mess.
Will he stay here for a while as you've done in the past? Will you keep him here and ship?
Yeah,
him
he'll stay
further?
here. We'll ship in a few days before the Preakness. He'll just stay here.
Yeah. Is she checking on flight time so we know when to come see you? Or what
I
are we working on?
I want to
here?
say I leave at 1 or 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
So
Yeah, Jill leaves at 2 o'clock. Jill and Bodie. Bodie, do you want to miss a day of school? Maybe stay an extra day. You don't know, huh? All I know, what Bodie and I've been picking up. We've been discussing this Derby for the last 30 days, and so you know, Dortmund after Dortmund won the Santa Anita Derby, and what little Bodie went through with Bodie Meister, it was tough. And when you get beat like that, all these seconds, and you know, you get to a point in your life that, well, maybe it's just not going to happen for me. Maybe I just, you know, it's not meant to be or whatever. But and then they sent me this horse, and I thought, wow, here's my chance. You know, don't mess it up, Bob. You know, it's like this is it. You know, we're so fortunate when we get a horse thrown in our lap like this, and it's so hard to get here. It's so hard to get here. And then to win it is so tough. I've come here with good horses, Point Given, all these horses, but this guy, he was, you know, I knew coming in we had a really special horse, and they're both really special. Dortmund's a really good horse, and he just got a little late there at the end. And Fire and Line, he showed what a good horse he is. He's a beautiful horse. He looked great in the paddock, and so I knew. I told my riders it's going to be you guys and Gary Stevens. You guys are it's going to be you guys around there.
Yeah, we're going to have one more question. These guys have a party to go to celebrate a little bit. Before that, did you actually give us a time, Bob? About 8 o'clock tomorrow morning or something?
No, I'll be here at 8. What time do you want? I'm here at 6:30. 5?
No, it's you.
No.
It's you.
I'll be here at 8 o'clock.
He's bluffing.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Mr. Zayat wants to
I want to say something in front of all of you here, because we should commend people when they do things well. In the past, there have been a lot of criticism about Churchill. As a person who have been coming here and had more than one Derby runner, I have seen 180% change in all attitudes and the whole organization from A to Z. It's something that I'd like personally to thank them for their hospitality, for what they have done for all owners and horsemen. I think, again, it's to be commended. It's very, very hard, as you know, in tradition and in things that happens one way to come and to change it and to do it in the way they have done it and to do all these things. It's something that I personally applaud, and thank you very much for an unbelievable fun week. And I can't say enough thanks for all the team here.
Thank you, Mr. Zayat. Lenny Shulman, this will be the last question before these guys get to go celebrate.
One more, please. You mentioned you had known Bob since 2007. There's a little bit of a rough patch there for a while. Tell me about what made you guys come back together after that rough patch, and what was it about Bob?
He's the best trainer. Simple. I want results. He is the best trainer in America. But also, I've also have grown up. I've matured. As a person, you hope you're getting better day after day, and you know that. You can't micromanage things, and there is, trust is earned in my book, and he has certainly earned his trust with us. I don't think, I never knew details. I'm a hands-on guy about my horses because I really, really trust that he would do absolutely his best about anything. So our relationship is fun, and most of the time when we text each other, it's something else, about other horses, about the industry, what have you. So it's a relationship that evolved and became really strong. I'm not only friendly with Bob, but the whole family. I consider his kids as my kids, and Jill is a fun part of all our life. So it's a teamwork relationship.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 4-time Kentucky Derby winner Bob Baffert.
Thank you.
3-time Kentucky Derby winner Victor Espinoza.
Thank you.
And with his first victory in the Kentucky Derby, Ahmed Zayat and son Justin. Congratulations. Good luck in the Preakness.
I want to add one more thing.
One more.
There's been a lot of great trainers that haven't been able to win it because they just didn't have the horse, but every great jockey wins the Kentucky Derby. Here's my man right here.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, guys. Thank you.